Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, live on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell. The show comes out every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's get into it. This is the 13th episode, so episodes are piling up, and I'm looking forward to talking to you for this half hour. I'm not gonna be here for long. Possibly we'll see what happens, but we're gonna start with the sports headlines of today. We gotta start with the Olympics in Paris, where the USA basketball team, the men's team, had to really struggle. Man, they had a struggle today. They had to rally from 17 down to survive against Serbia, and they was able to win to make it to the gold medal game, winning 95-91. So Nikola Jokic was a big part of this team, and obviously, he plays for Serbia, but he had 17 points and 11 assists, but he played most of the fourth quarter with foul trouble, and that was like a strike that ended up, hurting the upset. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 20 points, but give credit to USA basketball team. They were led by Stephen Curry, had 36 points, so he was able to bail them out, and I was able to win this game. Joe Embiid had 19 points as well. He was the catalyst. LeBron James had a triple double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Durant made two big baskets, a three-pointer that was part of a six-point possession that was crucial in the comeback. But Curry was definitely the man of the hour, man of the game, the player of the game. 36 points. He made nine three-point shots and 14 three-point attempts, two free throws to seal the victory. So he was at his absolute finest. So give him credit. And they stay off a scare, man. They survived a scare where they could have lost and not be playing for the gold medal, possibly. So, yeah, credit to USA, and they was able to rally back and win. It shows you again the international players are still the best players in basketball. They are the best. When you talk about Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, they're the two best players. You can make a case in the NBA, and they had a chance to knock off the USA men's team, but they blew a 17-point lead. It wasn't able to sustain that lead throughout the out that game. So, but give credit to USA. They won 95-91. Stephen Curry, he was able to get it done. Now they're gonna be playing for the gold medal. So give him credit for coming back because they trailed. Let's see the final period. Obviously going to Team USA, which outscored Serbia 32-15. Stephen Curry had a three-point shot with 2:24 remaining. So also Stephen Curry put together his best performance in the USA jersey with the 36 points. He's one shot of the American Olympic record for men's basketball that was held by Carmelo Anthony, the most ever for a US player in a knockout game. So had to work hard to win this game, overcoming a 17-point deficit, and they got the job done. They was able to win. So give them credit. So now they play for the gold medal. I don't know what day that's gonna be. Gotta check that. See when the gold medal game gonna be. Trying to find that. See, did that today on Thursday. So when the next game gonna be for the gold medal? Okay, they will play Saturday against France in their rematch of the 2021 Olympic final. So they'll play France on Saturday. So that's gonna be the gold medal game. So they had a rally, man. They really had to work hard, dig deep, and win this game and come out on top. You know, and that's the thing. But again, it shows again these talented teams in the overseas in that spectrum. There's a lot of talented teams that are really, really good, and they're really, really talented. And they're not gonna be in awe like they was when they played the Dream Team back in '92. Most of that was that those foreign players were in awe of the Dream Team with Magic and Michael and Larry Bird and those guys. They were just in awe. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was able to dominate. Now then they was gonna dominate anyway, but thing is, some of that could have been just the allness, the reverence that they had for those the players back in '92. That's why they the best ever. You know what I'm saying they definitely wouldn't have done what this USA team did today, as far as having to come back from a 17-point deficit. I mean, come on, that's not you know the dream team would not allow that. They would have dominated the game and won that game. You know, their business. So that could have been just so right there from that standpoint. That was a big win for USA, but it still shows the warts that's in this USA basketball team. I'm saying they got they had to trail by 17 points and come back and win. You got to win. It'll show you that they're not as dominant. They are vulnerable. So this team's not on the level of the dream team. The dream team is the best. Man, they dominated from start to finish. They get those scores. They was very, very lopsided. I don't think they played a close game. I got to double check. I don't think they did. I remember that year in '92. I don't think they was ever threatened in that game where they had danger of losing. They handled their business. They were focused. They were locked in. If I don't double check, I know they all was in with blowouts. So there was no comparison, despite the caliber of players that this USC team got with LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, guys like that. They don't compare to that team. That team was dominant. That team was focused. They wanted to make a statement, and that was a very important time because in '88 USA had lost. I forgot who they lost to in '88. They got knocked off, and here comes the something that was brand new and fresh, the Dream Team, 1992, and they was able to handle their business, represent USA from a basketball perspective, and dominate that whole Olympics. So I think that was just something new. But I think some of it also not just because they was talented, but I think the teams that played against USA, the Dream Team, they were in awe. They were had so much allness towards them. They had so much reverence for the Michael Jordans, the Larry Birds, Magic Johnsons, because they grew up watching them, so they end up playing them on the same court. They probably wasn't able to stay focused on the game, but they were so focused on the players. Who knows? But that team, that Dream Team, definitely wouldn't have had to overcome a 17-point deficit and win the game. There's no way. There's no way that was gonna happen. So I think give them credit. Give credit where it's due. They're in the gold medal game, and we're gonna see how they handle trying to win the gold medal game against France. So I want to start off with that as that's concerned. That's a big story. Obviously, the Olympics is still ongoing. It's almost going to be close to closing to an end pretty soon this month. But at the same time, it is what it is. Let's look at the '92 Dream Team. Again, as they all been described as the greatest sports team ever assembled. Rightfully so. Barkley was the leading scorer. Malone and Ewing were tied for like the most rebounds on average. The assist leader was Scottie Pippen. But that team was just dominant on the court. I mean, they beat Cuba 136 to 57. Then they beat Venezuela 127 to 80. That was in the Tournament of Americas. So then you had the Olympics. Opposing teams were nonetheless overwhelmed by the talented American roster, losing by an average of 43.8 points per game. This was the second largest Olympic Games point differential that was surpassed only by the 1956 U.S. men's basketball team, 1956. That team was led by Bill Russell at the time. I mean, that's how dominant they were. So this team that you see right now in the Olympics, this USA team, not even close to that team. And plus, some of those guys are older. LeBron James isn't up in age. Curry is getting older. He's an older guy. Durant is older. You know, they got guys in their 30s in the sense. So now they had the same element when they had Bird and Magic. They was in their 30s. Michael's still in his prime, like 28, 29. And Ewing was like I think 29 going on 30. So they had guys that was in their prime. They had been in the league for a long time in their prime, but not over the hill in a sense. But they were dominant. They beat the opponents 43.8 points per game. That was the point differential. That was the point differential. That was the second largest. And also, the Dream Team was the first to score more than 100 points in every game. They averaged 117.3 points a game, over 15 points more than the 1960 U.S. team. Come on, they had so much talent. Nobody's gonna beat that team. They were so focused and locked in. That's what it comes down to. I think it has something to do with the '88 Olympics results where the men lost. I think that's why they put this team together. I think that had to be the reason. Because in '88 the USA men's team got upset at the time. I think they wanted to come up with a different concept, an idea to form the team. Because yeah, the '98 Summer Olympics, the Americans lost to USSR and they settled for the bronze. And there was the worst finish in history of the tournament. So that had to be something that form the team. The reason why they formed the team because of that. Because at the time you just had amateurs, college, students, college, athletes, playing in the Olympics. You didn't have professional players from the NBA doing this until 1992. So they set the template first. But again, that team was dominant, man. No way, there's no comparison. That's the best dream team ever. There have been some other dream teams since then, but none compares to the original. So I won't be long winded with that, but we keep it moving. I want to start off with that, with the rally that USA men's team did today, coming back from 17 down to beat Serbia 95-91. Okay, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones says don't have urgency on CeeDee Lamb's deal. There's no urgency. So CeeDee Lamb continues his holdout. He's looking for a contract. They had a joint practice, the Cowboys against the Rams. Obviously, Lamb is entering the last year of a deal that's scheduled to pay him 17.99 million this season. He did not report the training camp. He's looking for a new contract that will make him one of the NFL's highest paid receivers. So the Cowboys placed Lamb on a reserve. Did not report this early in the week. They had a roster spot during training camp. So again, they have not gotten to a deal yet. So we'll see what happens with that. Other news, in Olympic news, a positive COVID test that was revealed after Noah Lyles won the 200-meter bronze. Moments after he finished in third place during Thursday night's 200-meter Olympics final, American sprinter Noah Lyles told reporters that he ran the race with COVID-19 after having been diagnosed with the illness 2 days earlier. So that's not good. He said that he tested positive around 5 a.m. Tuesday morning. He woke up in the middle of the night just feeling really chills and aching sore throat. So still got the COVID, virus going on. It's 2024. Not as a big deal as it was earlier in the decade, but it's still out there, man. People still get that COVID. That's the storyline right there. As far as headlines. And the NFL news, Falcons wide receiver Rondell Moore, unfortunately, is going to be on an IR with a season-ending knee injury. It's a season-ending knee injury that's unfortunate. They haven't played no preseason game yet. This is Atlanta Falcons team. Now he's not going to be available throughout the year. He was called off the field during a joint practice with the Miami Dolphins in Miami yesterday on Wednesday. The air cast was placed on Moore's right knee. He was taken on to an on-site medical facility. So the injury happened on a passing play where rookie quarterback Michael Penix Jr. hit wide receiver Josh Ali in the right side of the end zone during 11-on-11 drills, but the pass was incomplete and the play seemingly inconsequential until Moore was seen down the opposite side of the end zone. Now, this guy Moore was acquired in the trade during March and in March for quarterback Desmond Ritter for the Arizona Cardinals. So it hurts their depth chart. He was listed, fourth wide receiver on the team and second in the slot. They had great chemistry, early chemistry with Penix with the second team offense. So he's out. So that's the storyline on that. So for sports headlines, so now it's time to get into some preseason football. We got a lot of wall-to-wall preseason football going on right now. Obviously, had the Hall of Fame game last week. I think it was postponed the third quarter because of the thunderstorms that was going on last week. You got two games going on, but you got a lot of plethora of slated games going on this weekend towards preseason as the preseason seems to get underway, get rolling. And in week one, with the Hall of Fame game, we're gonna start with that. 21-17 was the final score between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. The Bears won 21-17. Brett Rippon threw three touchdown passes. But again, this game only lasted for three quarters. It was postponed due to the weather. So the storm had shortened the game because the storm that was going on. So it didn't last as long. It was called with 3:31 left in the third quarter. It was called off at the 36-minute delay, so it was called off too due to the storm, heavy rain and stuff, lightning. Yeah, and also in NFL, you're gonna have obviously it's been going on the preseason games, including tonight's games. Obviously, yeah, the NFL has these rules with the kickoffs. So the league dramatically redesigned the play, aiming to revive it after a record low returns last season. So they're reviving the kickoff rule to have high returns. Try to increasing that. Now none of the eight kickoffs were returned beyond the 32-yard line. Three were brought back to the 26, a yard further from than the old touchback. There was one touchback that came out to the 30. So that's what they're trying to do with this radical new rules for the kickoffs at the start. Just dramatically redesign the play, aiming to revive it at the record low returns last season. Okay, so that was the narrative with that. But now you got games going on right now. There's two games. The New York Giants are winning 14-3, with 3:16 to go in the third quarter. The Lions had the ball now. Now both stars did not start tonight, so it's not that serious for us key players playing. Obviously, that's not a surprise. You want to make sure that you stay sharp. Not having injury to key players. Who knows? Most of the stars may not even play. Maybe the second game they may play. Third game they may play. I don't think they're gonna play in the fourth game. There is a fourth game. I'm quite sure it is, but all it's all about is this. When you come to preseason, it's about certain people trying to be impressive, be ready to sharp, try to earn a roster spot on the team, be impressive to the coaches, and see if they can make a spot. That's basically what preseason is all about. It's not really about the stars, it's about guys fighting for a spot on the team. Also, the Patriots, New England Patriots, they're leading 7-0 over the Carolina Panthers. They're home with 4:12 to go in the third quarter. The Patriots lead 7-0. Kelvin Harris ran for a 2-yard touchdown. So that's the storyline going on with the NFL preseason. We got preseason games tomorrow. The Texans of Houston against the Steelers, Falcons, Dolphins, Eagles, Ravens. Check that out. Saturday, you got the Jets, Commanders, Bears, and the Bills, Raiders and the Vikings, Browns and the Packers, Big Buccaneers and the Bengals, Chiefs and the Jaguars, 49ers and the Titans, Seahawks, Chargers, Saints and the Cardinals. And then Sunday, you have two games, the Broncos and the Colts and the Cowboys and the Rams. So that's what's going on with the NFL preseason. So let's move forward. I want to talk about a guy maybe obviously he's before my time for his watching football, but I remember him years later. Duane Thomas passed away, former Dallas Cowboy running back. He passed away yesterday at age 77. And he's a very important part of the Cowboys because before there was a Tony Dorsett, before there was a Emmitt Smith, there was Duane Thomas. Why is that so important? Because he was part of the first championship team to win a championship in 1971. And his name was Duane Thomas. He passed away, unfortunately, on August 4th. May he rest in peace. Played with the Redskins, went to West Texas State Buffaloes. That's the college he went to. 77 years old. First round pick, overall 23rd pick. They ought to give start, but he just had a star-crossed kind of career. He only played 2 seasons with the Cowboys, went to the Chargers, went to the Redskins, the Hawaiians. That's gotta be, World Football League. And then played with the Cowboys again. That was his off-season practice squad member. Then he played in the CFL. Then he came back, played for the Green Bay Packers. So he could have had a great career because he led the league in rushing touchdowns. And they said he won a year that the Cowboys won the championship. He was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Definitely had a lot of promise, but just didn't live up to it. But he did win a championship with the Cowboys in his second season. Um, he was being compared to Jim Brown. That's how great he was. He's named the NFL Rookie of the Year. In playoff wins against Detroit and San Francisco, he rushed for 135 yards, 143 yards. He became the first rookie with 200-yard rushing playoff games. So that's something that was a unique situation. Have a player of his caliber showed the promise that he could have had, but again, he didn't live up to the promise because he only finished with uh 2,038 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns. So he did not have a long, successful career as it was promised in the beginning. He got off to a great start, but his things just didn't work out. He was requesting during off season his 3-year contract be rewritten, and he called out Tex Graham, told him a deceitful, Gil Brandt a liar, Tom Landry a plastic man, calling him no man at all. You know, he was traded to the New England Patriots. That's interesting with Halbert Hagan and Arnold Jackson, changed for Carl Garrett in the Patriots' first choice in 1972 NFL draft, but within a week, because of the problems with the Patriots and head coach John Mazur, now President moved NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle voided part of the trade. He sent Thomas back. So, so in '71, again in the new Texas Stadium, obviously he played there for the first time as a running back. He led the league in rushing touchdowns, 11, total touchdowns, 13. He was all pro. He had 95 yards rushing against the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl number 6. It was the franchise's first. So he was off to a great start. And also, what's classic about Duane Thomas is that he didn't really talk that much to his teammates, and he didn't really open up to the players, his teammates and stuff like that. He was isolated and subordinate, at times, regardless of where he was at, especially at the 1972 offseason. He became more isolated and subordinate, so he was traded to the San Diego Chargers for Mike Montgomery and Billy Parks. So there was a question after the Super Bowl against the Miami Dolphins. Tom Brookshire said, when asked about playing the ultimate game for the contest, he responded, "If it's the ultimate game, how come they're playing it again next year?" And then in a post-game interview, Tom Brookshire noted Thomas's speed and asked him rhetorically, "Are you that fast?" Thomas responded, "Evidently." According to Hunter S., Thompson said all he did was take the ball and run every time they called his number, which came to be more and more often. In the Super Bowl, Thomas was the whole show. So he was the Super Bowl MVP. He was reportedly voted that, but he boycotted the media throughout the season, though, as well. And Larry Klein, editor of Sport, which presented the award, did not know how Thomas would act at a banquet in New York. So, in mind, Larry Klein, the editor of Sport magazine, announced that Roger Staubach was the winner. So I'm saying he's kind of like Marshawn Lynch. I want to get. I don't. I see the thing he said. He was one. For that famous quote in that Super Bowl. I want to get paid, so I don't get fined or something like that. He said something that classic quote Marshawn Lynch said. Because he wasn't a guy that was like really opened up to the media that much. I'm trying to figure out that the classic quote that he said in the Super Bowl. So I won't get fined, something like that. It's just a classic line by him. But again, rest in peace to the one and only Duane Thomas from the Cowboys. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Yeah, that's the classic line that was very famous by him during media day. That's what that was. Yeah, so because he was always dodging the media at that time. He was getting fined a lot. The fine started rolling in for missing mandated media sessions after games. And he reportedly dodged a $500,000 fine from the NFL by showing up at media day when he dropped the famous line, "I'm here so I won't get fined" line. Yeah. So going back to Dwayne Thompson, man, he was that guy, man. He was definitely a guy that had a lot of promise, a lot of promise to be an all-time great running back, but that definitely wasn't the case. So he's very enigmatic, as described here. Again, he had issues with Tom Landry, the organization of the Cowboys, stuff like that. So is what it is. So may he rest in peace. Also, one more thing about Thomas that he threatened to retire if the Cowboys did not renegotiate his contract, because at the time, before the 71 season, 2 decades before a full-fledged free agency system, the NFL gave players more leverage and much higher salaries. That's why Thomas wanted to retire because of that. See, he's where his time trying to get, leverage and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there was no free agency in the 70s. So this was a big deal because his stance of not wanting to play for the Cowboys, one new contract, his willingness to sacrifice his career was a part of a larger narrative of black athletes challenging how labor was treated. So that's why he did what he did. As far as kind of like in a sense Kurt Flood, because Kurt Flood, who played baseball, all-star center fielder, he challenged the labor system in baseball, under which the reserve clause contractually tied players to their teams year after year unless they were traded or sold. So Flood's case ended in 1972 with the United States Supreme Court leaving the clause undisturbed. But free agency came to baseball through an arbitrator ruling 3 years later. So Thomas didn't speak to reporters throughout the 1971 season, stuff like that. So that's basically it, man. That's the life of Duane Thomas. He was his own man, considering the times and according to what was described by him. So could have been a great player, but it just didn't work out. Very short-lived career, like Duane Thomas. That's it. That's all need to be said. So I'm gonna get into some baseball, Major League Baseball recap. Also getting some college football. The polls came out. The coaches poll came out recently, so we're gonna get into that. There for me for a second. Hold on for a second. Just bear with me. Back to Thomas, he didn't talk to anyone, including his teammates and coach, throughout the entire season. The same one Cowboys. Yeah, he's just that kind of guy. But again, like I said, it has something to do with probably um, the situation with the contract. He kept silent all season, refusing to speak to teammates, management, or media. I think yeah, obviously it has something to do with him wanting his contract to be negotiated, so he can talk to his teammates because of that. All right, so let's get into some baseball. uh, Major League Baseball regular season recap. Let's get into that real quick. We got the standings. Who's looking good right now? Okay, in the American League, it's a tie in the American League East between the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Yankees, 68 and 47, or the same record as these teams are playing for that division. Boston is 6 games back, 61 and 52. Tampa Bay 57 and 56. And Toronto's 52 and 62. In the American League Central, you got the 67 and 47 Cleveland the Guardians. They're 3.5 games up over Minnesota, who's 63 and 50. Kansas City 64 and 52. And Detroit's 55 and 60. The White Sox, the worst team in baseball, is 28 and 89. In the American League West, tight race, man. Houston 59-55. Seattle 59 and 56. The Texas Rangers are 54-61. Angels of Los Angeles are 50 and 64. And Oakland A's are in last place 48 and 68. Let's go to the National League. And National League, right now, Philadelphia is clinging to having the best record in baseball. They're 68 and 46. The Mets are 61 and 54, 7.5 games out. Atlanta's 60 and 54. Washington's 52 and 64. And Miami's 43 and 73. So Milwaukee, in the National League Central is 65 and 49. And St. Louis is 59 and 56. And Pittsburgh is 56 and 58. Cubs are 57 and 60. 56 and 59 is the Cincinnati Reds. Then you look lastly in the American League West, you got the Dodgers 66 and 49. Break out the Padres, man. They're looking really good. 2.5 games out. 64 and 52. 5 games winning streak. Arizona 63 and 52. San Francisco is 59 58. And Colorado is 42 and 74. So it's not that much separation for like the best teams in baseball for as like record wise, because you look at Baltimore 68 and 47. Yankees got the same record, 68 47. But then you look at the Phillies, it's 68 and 46. So they lose a game, they're gonna be in a three-way tie for the best record in baseball. So it's very tight in Major League Baseball. Like it's not that separation like it was in the first half. Because you look at the Phillies, they look like they was running away with it. But right now, it's not the case. And I got today's scores. You got the Yankees losing 9-1 against the Angels. Orioles are losing to the Blue Jays 7-2. That's in the top of the ninth. Angels beating the Yankees in the top of the eighth. And the bottom of the seventh, you got the Cardinals losing to the Rays 5-4. The Giants are up 9-5 in the final. That was a final actually won by the Giants in 10 innings. Then the Brewers and the Braves 16-7. Padres 7-6 over the Pirates. The Mets 9-1 over the Colorado Rockies. Lastly, the Reds over the Marlins 10-4 in 10 innings. Now you got the Phillies. This is an interesting matchup. The Diamondbacks 63-52 against the Phillies on the road. Phillies on the road against Arizona 68-46. Let's look at the baseball aspect. Let's get into the 101 memorable home runs in baseball history. Let's continue on with that. Continue with resume with where I left at. Yeah, Tony Fernandez. Let's get to Tony Fernandez. I'm gonna read maybe a couple of chapters and that'd be it. 83 and 82. Number 83 was Tony Fernandez, a blast in place of Bip. Bip Roberts was supposed to start at second base in the 1997 American League Championship Series in Game 6. He had been acquired by the Cleveland Indians from Kansas City on August 30th, 1997, from rookie pitcher Roland de la Maza, and had been a spark for the Tribe in the final days of the regular season. So the Baltimore Orioles were starting ace hurler Mike Mussina, who was having an October for the ages. The Indians were 1 game away from the World Series. The Orioles, the best team in the American League all year, were at home in Camden Yards. During batting practice, Bip, his real name was Leon, was taking balls at second base for Tony Fernandez, the former Toronto Blue Jays great, was completing his baseball practice hacks in the I think that's BP. I think it's the name for baseball practice. Let me see. Batting practice. think that Stan was batting practice. So he buzzed the line drives in Bip's direction. As Bip told George Bessie of the New York Times, when he put his glove up, he caught old thumb, no glove at all. I knew it was bad right away. So Bip retreated to the clubhouse for a painkiller to ease the throbbing in his left thumb. So it didn't help, but he still took his turn in batting practice. So, make a long story short, he was a gamer, but he couldn't grip the bat properly as he hurt his thumb. So he scratched from the lineup. So they inserts Fernandez to play second at second and batted him second. He moved in Omar Vazquez, the shortstop, to the leadoff slot. So for 8 innings, it didn't make a difference because Musim was great. In game three of the series, he threw 7 shutout innings of one hit ball, striking out 15 batters. Only Bob Gibson, with 1798 World Series, had recorded more strikeouts in the postseason game. Musim had 31 strikeouts in 3 postseason starts. All right, so let's fast forward to October 15th, 1997. Mussina bettered it. He struck out 10 and 8 scoreless innings against the Indians. The only hit he allowed was a double by Cleveland's David Justice. There was an article that was written by Thomas Boswell of the Boston Post saying that Christy Mathewson and Walter Johnson would have been proud of Mussina. No one has ever pitched better at this time of year for these stakes. So Mussina was doing his thing. He was definitely holding it down 29 innings. He had great success against the two high scoring teams in Cleveland and Seattle, allowing only 11 hits. Batting average was 118, only 4 walks, while striking out 41 batters. So, moving forward, there's a scores due with Charles Nagy. The scene was evoking images of Gibson's intensity and Sandy Koufax's overprime stuff. They made huge hitters with clubs in their hand look like a pitiable breed with little future, according to Boswell in the Post. So Nagy wasn't as sharp. He kept pitching in and out of trouble. He was tough, more than kept it drive in the game. Mussina left the contest after throwing 8 innings and 108 pitches into the left, so the score was still tied. So here comes Fernandez, who won 4 straight Gold Gloves from 1986 to 1989 with the Toronto Blue Jays. Here he comes to be the hero. He was a long lean switch hitter who modeled his stance after the Hall of Famer Rock Rue. Obviously, he was traded. The Jays had traded him to San Diego on December 6, 1990, a blockbuster trade that included Robert Alomar and for first baseman Fred McGriff and outfielder Joe Carter. So against Messina, Fernandez, now 35 years old, was 0 for 3. So Baltimore's reliever in the left inning was Armando Benitez, 6'4", 220 pounds, and all heat, who recorded the first 2 outs of the frame. He fell behind Fernandez, the third hitter, 2-0 on fastballs just outside. Benitez had a history with Cleveland. A year earlier in the playoffs, Cleveland's Arthur Bell had boomed a grand slam over the hard-throwing righty in Game 2 of the '97 series, surrendered Marquise Grissom's game-winning eighth-inning homer. In Game 4, he coughed up Roberto Alamore's game-winning hit, which built the Tribe a 3-1 series lead. So the count now 2-0. Fernandez hit a Ruthenian fly ball off of Benitez to right in Babe's hometown, which landed in the temporary bleachers in right field. The Warriors had upset the Indians in 1996, and that was the Cleveland's turn. Jose Mesa signs the Orioles in the bottom of the 11th, and just like that, the Indians were on their way to the World Series. After the game, Fernandez told Jack Kirby of the New York Times, "I don't believe in death. I believe that Lord was arbitrated this way. Want me to play for some reason I did." So that was a great, great moment in baseball history for him to hit a home run, replacing Vic Roberts, and hitting a home run, being a hero. So that's the 83rd memorable home run in baseball history. Next, the last one we'll look at is at 82. Steve Yeager, a Dodger shot into the great blue yonder. Chuck Yeager, Chuck Yeager is not Steve Yeager's uncle. The first pilot to have traveled faster than the speed of sound in 1947, the catcher who helped the Dodgers Los Angeles to the 1981 World Championship were cousins, not uncle and nephew. Steve Yeager had made the point many times through the years, but sometimes the fact gets mixed up. What is not in question is that Steve Yeager hit one of the most important home runs in Los Angeles Dodgers history. He was also one of the great defensive catchers of his time. St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Brock, a Hall of Famer who stole about 938 bases, second all time in baseball history, called Yeager the best throwing catcher in the game. That was when Johnny Bench of the Cincinnati Reds, as also a Hall of Famer, was winning 10 consecutive Gold Gloves. So in one game, a Yeager throw from a catcher's crouch, the second was clocked at 98 miles per hour. Second base is 254 feet from home plate. In 1978, Yeager tossed out almost half the runners trying to steal. When Yeager would draw comparisons to the bench, he bristled and said, "When I'm the all-star catcher, have won an MVP award, and have led the league in home runs, RBIs like Johnny has, then maybe I can compare myself with him." Yeager was the starting catcher for the Dodgers when they lost to the New York Yankees in 1977 and 1978 World Series, respectively. But 1981, Yeager, who was 33, was a backup to a young Max Scherzer, the future manager of the Los Angeles Angels. Yeager had hit only 209 with fewer than 100 at bats, but the Dodgers were back in the series against the New York Yankees because New York was starting left-handers Ron Guidry, Tommy John, and Dave Righetti. The right-handed hitting Yeager got a chance to play more than usual. Game one, he slugged a homer and the loser calls off of ace Ron Guidry at Yankee Stadium. Future Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda fell in love with Yeager in 1972 and got in LA's top farm club in Albuquerque. His arm, hustle, toughness, and his occasional power. In the pivotal Game 5 of the Game 5, with the series tied at 2-2, Guidry was again on the mound and working a two-hit shutout and a 1-0 lead. Struck out the dangerous Dusty Baker to open the seventh. Guidry had retired 15 of the last 16 Dodger hitters. Vince Scully, the voice of the Dodgers, said the southpaw Yankee pitcher showed no sign of wilting on this afternoon, sunny Sunday afternoon. So Baker, who would later manage the San Francisco Giants, the Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds, Washington Nationals, suggested Pedro Guerrero and Yeager that they should move up in the batter's box to combat Guidry's late breaking slider. Okay, Guerrero, who was baseball historian Bill James once said it was the best hitter God had made in a long time. Swung and missed at Guidry's first offering, but smoked the second one high and deep, far beyond the bleachers walls in left center. The score was now tied. Yeager missed Guerrero's dinger. He was swinging a weighted bat in the on-deck circle when the weights fell off. He had turned his head to gather them. I heard the crowd going wild, and when I looked up, Pedro was trotting around the bases, he said. Yeager, wearing number 7 and batting 7, swung and missed the first two Guidry offerings with fierce swings. I wasn't looking for a home run, he said, but those two swings must have looked like I was trying to air it out to the parking lot. Guidry then threw a fastball. Yeager stroked it almost as far as Guerrero did to the same left center area code. The Dodgers took the lead in the game and series for good. Made me look so bad on the first two breaking balls, Yeager said. So maybe he figured I'd be looking for another one. He's just a great pitcher. He's a great pitcher. It was one of those things I just guessed right. Yeager was 3 for 6 with a double, along with 2 homers against Guidry that October. Asking the pitcher, Yeager noted, and there's always one particular guy on each team who gives him difficulty. For the first time, 3 players share the series MVP. Yeager, Guerrero, and Ron said. And maybe someone somewhere asked Chuck Yeager if he was related to Steve. Yeah, so this 82nd memorable home run came against the Yankees as he hit home run as far as Guerrero did. The same left center area code Dallas took the lead in the game in series for good. So that's the 82nd memorable home run. So I stop there and move on to college football. Get into the polls that are out right now. The top 25 polls came out this week. The coaches poll. So we go over that, then go to the on this day in sports history and be done with the show for the night. Yeah, so that was released this week. The college coaches poll for college football came out. It's the coaches poll. Let's get into that. Look at the teams that are ranked. Okay, number 1 is Georgia. No surprise there. Ohio State, Oregon. Number 3, number 4, Texas. Number 5, Alabama. 6, Mississippi. Notre Dame, number 7, Michigan, number 8, Penn State, number 9, number 10, Florida State, number 11, Missouri, number 12, LSU, Utah, number 13, Clemson, number 14, Tennessee, 15, 16 is Oklahoma, number 17, Kansas State, number 18, Oklahoma State, number 19, Miami Hurricanes, Miami of Florida, number 20, Texas A&M, number 21, Arizona, number 22, North Carolina State, USC, number 23, Kansas, number 24, and Iowa is number 25. So that is the coaches poll for the new season. Obviously, the AP ain't come out yet. I don't think it came out yet. It's coming out real soon. We'll see. But the coaches poll is out right now. And that's the latest poll right now. Not surprised that Georgia's number one. I think Georgia is a team that could have played in the playoff, won the third national championship. Because remember, this is a team that won the last two national championships against Alabama and TCU. They had a chance to go for a historic three-peat. They fell short of that. They wasn't able to make it. Obviously, they lost in the SEC championship game. I still thought they should have won the college playoff. But it is what it is with that. So I keep it moving with that, and that's that. But either way, this team, Georgia, is definitely gonna be the team to beat. Yes, Michigan won that championship last year, but they got Carson Beck. He's definitely gonna be probably the front runner for the Heisman. You know, they got the Dominic Lovett, Miami of Florida Hurricane, transfer Kobe Young. The defense is gonna be strong. Defensive lineman Michael Williams, linebacker Smell London, defensive back Malaki Starks, all future NFL draft picks. So they definitely preseason number one. So I ain't gonna go over to everybody else, all the teams that made it, but that's the preseason poll, the USLBM preseason coaches poll that came out this week. The AP poll should be coming out real soon. I'll go over that as far as that's concerned. That's it. So the top 10 again is Georgia, Ohio State number 2, 3 Oregon, 4 Texas, 5 Alabama, 6 Mississippi, 7 Notre Dame, number 8 Michigan, number 9 Penn State, and number 10 Florida State. So that's the top 10 right there. But again, the rest of the top 25 is Missouri at 11, LSU 12, 13 Utah, 14 Clemson, 15 Tennessee, 16 Oklahoma, 17 Kansas State, 18 Oklahoma State, 19 Miami, Texas A&M 20, 21 Arizona, 22 North Carolina State, 23 Southern California, 24 Kansas, and number 25 Iowa. So that's it for a look at the top 25 coaches poll for college football season. All right, so that's it for that. Let's get into the honest day in sports history. Let's get into that honest day in sports history for August 8th. All right, let's get into it, man. What took place today on this day? We're gonna start with. I'm gonna go over everything that took place. There's things that stand out to me. Okay, 1920 on August 8th, 1920. The Tigers beat the Yankees 1-0 in the shortest American League game, 73 minutes. On August 8th, 1922, Pirates set record of 46 hits in a doubleheader against the Phillies. On August 8th, 1930, Major League Baseball St. Louis Cardinals are 12 games back in National League and go on to win the pennant. 1931, on August 8th, Washington Senators pitcher Bobby Burke pitched a no-hitter against Boston Red Sox, winning 5-0 at Griffin Stadium at Washington, D.C. 1946, on August 8th, The Dreyfus family, owners of Major League Baseball Pittsburgh Pirates since 1900, sold club to Frank McKinney and John Galbraith for $25 million. In 1970, on August the 8th, Major League Baseball New York Yankees honor Casey Stengel, retiring his jersey number 37. He managed the team from 1949 to 1960, winning 7 championships, World Series championships, and 10 appearances. 1972, on August 8th, New York Yankees signed a 30-year lease to play in remodeled Yankee Stadium. In 1976, on August 8th, Chicago White Sox suited up in shorts. 1977, August 8th, Texas Rangers turned their first triple play versus the Oakland A's. 1983, August 8th, first Athletics World Championships, Carl Lewis won the gold in 100 meters. 1984, Carl Lewis won third gold medal of the Los Angeles Olympics, joining Kurt Baptiste, and Thomas Jefferson in American sweep of the 200 meters. August 8th, 1985, Major League Baseball new agreement permits 2 new National League teams in 1993. August 8th, 1987, Brewers Rob Deere struck out 5 times in the game. August 8th, 1988, the Cubs and the Phillies attempt to play first night game ever at Wrigley Field, but are rained out in fourth inning with Chicago leading 3-1. On August 8th, 1988, Minnesota Twins pull second triple play of year and 6-2 win over Cleveland. August 8th, 1990, Baltimore Orioles pulled their 10th triple play, 163 versus the Oakland A's. August 8th, 1990, Caustic Face tied Johnny Bench, hitting his 327th home run as a catcher. August 8th, 1990, Major League Baseball manager Pete Rose began a 5-month prison sentence term at Marion, Illinois federal prison camp for filing false income tax returns. August 8th, 1991, with 2 months left, White Sox set new home attendance 2,150,951. 2,150,951. Okay. August 8th, 1992, the Dream Team won the gold medal. The original U.S. Dream Team won, beating Croatia 117-85 in Barcelona. Obviously, I didn't know the who's who of stars. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley Jr. August 8th, 1997, Seattle Mariners, Randy Johnson struck out 19 Chicago White Sox batters. August 8th, 2004, John Elway was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think that's basically it. Nothing else to talk about. All right, that's it. That's it for tonight. I'm done. Hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'll be back next week for another episode, the episode number 14 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, streaming live currently on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Check out the article is not up yet, but I did go in another direction. I did an article. It was about the history of the Kickoff Classic. Now, those who don't know, the Kickoff Classic, that was a bid for college football because on August 29th, 1983, for the first time ever, you had a football game played, college football, in August. That had never been done. And it was played in East Rutherford, New Jersey at the old Giant Stadium. And that's when things was broken as far as like new ground where you had college football being played in August. That was something that was new and fresh. So I wrote a piece about the history of the Kickoff Classic. I really focused on August 29th, 1983. That was a monumental moment because the defending champion Penn State Nittany Lions facing Nebraska Cornhuskers in the inaugural matchup in the Kickoff Classic, and Nebraska won 44-6. They were going to play for the national championship. They lost to Miami 31-30. That was one of the great teams of all time. Not to win the championship. Turner Gill at quarterback, Tom Osborne, the coach, running back Mike Brazier, wide receiver Urban Fryer. But that was a watershed moment. And I did a piece on it about the Nebraska Penn State game played on August 29th, 1983. That was the first time ever that a college football regular season game was played in August in the regular season. That was the first time ever. And the syndication aspect for television rights, Cast Communications televised this game. It had 71,123 fans at this game. It was a game changer because it definitely opened up the floodgates for other colleges, other games to start in August, like the Pitt Skin Classic. That started in 1990, and then the Eddie Robson Classic that began in 1997. So you had a lot of spin-offs of other games following the image and the blueprint of what the Kickoff Classic was about. That lasted from 1983 to 2002 Kickoff Classic. And due to rule changes regarding like season opening extra games, it brought it into the Kickoff Classic. But the Kickoff Classic was definitely a seismic shift in terms of starting the season in college football in the regular season in August and getting off to a great start with the season being played in August. So that was something different. To 1983, prior to 1983, none of that was happening. Most of the season was starting in September. But in 1983, that was a game changer to have a game being played in August. So they laid down a blueprint for this, games we played to start the season off. It was revived in the 2000s, 2008. You had a new wave of kickoff games, like the Chick-fil-A kickoff game in Atlanta, Georgia. So, but it all started on August 29th, 1983. You can check out the article on e5280sports.com. I don't think it's up yet, but pretty soon it's gonna be up. I gotta double check. I don't think it's up yet, but you can check it out when you get a chance. I don't think it's up yet. E5280sports.com. The article is not up yet, but it will be up soon. So check it out real soon at your leisure. You want to read about the history of the Kickoff Classic. I mean, that was definitely a monumental moment in college football history because you had something that you never saw before in college football, having a game being played in August in the regular season for the first time ever. The first time ever, man. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, in Giant Stadium, the old Giant Stadium, not the MetLife Stadium, but an old Giant Stadium. That's where it got started, man. You had history in the making, where a football game was played in August. It was between the two powerhouses at the time. Nebraska, obviously, they'd fallen off, the face of the earth. They no longer a dominant program like they was back in the '80s. But you had two great coaches, Joe Paterno, obviously for Penn State, and obviously Tom Osborne for University of Nebraska. That was just a huge, huge day in sports to see something like that happen. As far as the kickoff class is concerned, that was definitely a monumental moment in college football, as far as that is concerned. That was the first regular season college football game to be played in the month of August. So I wrote a piece about that. So check it out about look back at the kickoff classic, the history of it, and how it was a monumental moment. It broke new ground as far as being played in the regular season in August, the first time ever. Watershed moment, man. Just watershed moment. And hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the article. So that concludes this episode number 13 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'll be back next Thursday night for another action-packed, show for this half hour, this whole hour. I ain't expect to go close to 10 o'clock. I thought it'd be a shorter show, but I had a lot to talk about. Hopefully you enjoy everything I talked about, all the content. Best yet to come. And I'll give you great shows every single Thursday night when I can. And I'll do my best to just give you great content best way I can. So that concludes episode number 13 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, which comes on every single Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Elevation 5280 Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night at 9 p.m. on the same platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, Elevation 5280 Sports Lifestyles. That's where Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell comes on this platform. Until then, talk to you next Thursday night. Have a good night.